So today guys, we have the Sabbat E16s in our review table. This is really interesting because this is a hybrid configuration from Sabbat. And of course here in the channel, you guys know I love my Sabbats. They do give really good quality TWSs here. And of course the E16s might be the upgrade to maybe your E12s, X12s of the world. So of course you're getting E16s here, and you're getting that usual Sabbat look. And this is what I like about Sabbats in general. They do give you that maybe enthusiast look on the ear. Actually, from the get-go, this might have some fins here. Qualcomm Actec support, BM balanced armature driver. Of course, at the other side, you're getting wireless charging, Bluetooth 5.2, Qualcomm Actec, 6 hours of battery life, and of course CVC 8.1 as well. So usually for Sabbats, they do give you really good specs for the price that you are paying for. And this might be the next level compared to maybe your Sabbat X12s, E12s of the world. Opening it up, and of course you're getting another box as well inside, and you're getting that actually zpolt blue here, which is quite nice here. So we're gonna check that out later. A generous selection of tips of sale, so much like the previous Sabbat, you're getting a nice selection of tips. So this one advantage of Sabbats in general, you can use your usual IEMs tips here. If you definitely have that tips collection, you can use it with your Sabbats, and that's definitely an advantage. And you're getting that case here as well. And actually what I like about Sabbats in general is they play around with the finish of their TWSs, and actually this looks really upscale for me here, guys. So this looks really nice for me overall. So definitely for me, this is a notch up compared to what I have seen before from Sabbats, and that's really nice for me. You're getting that wireless charger here as well. Quite a minimalist design here overall, but it feels really good in the hand for that price range. One of the best that I have checked. So looking at the lobes here, guys, so definitely you're getting that maybe a bit more enthusiast kind of look to the ear. So looking at the insertion, you're getting that custom IM shape here, which is definitely really surprising here coming from Sabbat. You're getting that contours. Maybe the contours here reminds me of your maybe custom IM shape. Also the insertion as well goes pretty deep here. So this is actually again surprising for me here. Alright, so putting this in, this is what it's gonna look like actually when you open it up inside. So you're not getting that maybe glitter finish inside. So I would love it to have maybe a bit more consistency there. But on top, you're getting that reinforcement here. So again, maybe the opening and closing is not gonna be as flimsy. Actually feels good. It has a bit of weight to it as well. So yeah, build quality here overall, I'm really impressed with it. This is definitely a notch up compared to the X12, E12s of the world. One of the best build qualities that I've seen in that price range. Has a bit of weight to it as well. Quite impressive here. So actually I would say better compared to your Moontrops as well. So the Moontrops will feel more plasticky compared to this one. So let's try to pair this up, and then let's test out the features here. So this is how it's gonna look like on the ear. And you definitely get that maybe IM shape on the ear here. So I would say in terms of the fit on the ear, better compared to the E12s, better compared to the X12s as well. And you're getting that maybe more insertion as well. So the isolation is better compared to the X12 and E12s as well. And really stable to the ear here. Really better fitting here for the Sabbat E16s. So really impressive in terms of the build quality and the wear on the ear here. So let's try to listen to some tunes, and we're gonna use of course the iPhone 13 Max for our listen today. We're listening to some Less Groove, Earth, Wind and Fire. So from the get-go, this is more from bright hue type of shape to the ear. So a lot of shine on top, a lot of extension on top here. So this might be the brightest Sabbats that I have listened to so far. So you have a lot of clarity here on top. So this is one of the major advantage of going for the E16s here. So definitely that maybe BA presentation on top makes the shine here really prominent in the mix. So maybe the sound here in the IM world reminds me a lot of maybe TC01s and kind of sound to the ear. Actually maybe the CRAs as well maybe has that kind of vibe, or the ZSN Pro XS as well. So definitely this is in the more musical side of things. So very musical to listen to, quite aggressive of a presentation as well. So reminds me a lot of maybe the ZSN Pro XS of the world. Very fun to listen to here. Maybe some Change the World by Eric Clapton. So actually going to the top end here, let's discuss the treble first. So the treble definitely has that maybe BA vibes to the overall sound. Quite good micro detail for me in the mix. So like for example here in Change the World, Eric Clapton having that guitars, having that extension on top makes the guitars really lively in the mix here. So for those listening to guitar tracks, for those who can utilize that 12K, the treble extension on top, you will like this TWS. And also in the vocal as well, like for example in Eric Clapton's vocals, of course it's recessed in the mix, but it's more for bright vocal presentation, so very clear in terms of the overall presentation here. So it will push through the mix nicely here, and quite revealing in the overall presentation as well. Actually, I'm encountering a bit of maybe shoutiness in the vocals here, So it's that revealing for me in the mix. So actually this is maybe a more kind of enthusiast listen for me now on the ear. So compared to the X12s, E12s, this is more of an enthusiast, kind of listen, more clear kind of presentation to the ear. So actually for people who bought maybe the E12, X12 Ultras, you might be surprised with the listen here because they're already a bit different in terms of the overall presentation here. And on top as well, maybe one downside for me in the top end is you're getting the BA, maybe metallic tonality and sound. So tonality is not the most accurate presentation on top here. So better micro detail, more shine on top, but not so good tonality. Let's try another track, maybe some 24K Magic by Bruno Mars. Going to the mid end here, vocals really clear from in the mix. So if you're into clear vocals, revealing vocals, this will fall right down your alley. So actually compared to other Sabbats, this might be the most maybe IEM kind of sounding TWSs that I have heard so far from Sabbat. The vocal positioning is recessed in the mix, but actually it's not that far off. Yeah, the recession here in the mid region is not super far compared to what you're getting with the other parts of the spectrum. This is the presentation as well. The vocal region is more clean in the presentation. So yeah, you have dynamic driver presentation here, but the dynamic driver is not that prominent in the mix that it overpowers the rest of the spectrum. So for me, the vocals still pushes through the mix nicely here and more in the clean side of presentation as well. So actually on top as well, maybe another downside is I'm encountering a bit of peakiness on top here. And in the vocals as well, you have that raspiness in the vocals. So the micro detail is definitely there. So compared to maybe your usual Sabbat S12, E12 Ultras, the micro detail is going to be better here, especially in the vocal region here. Actually, compared to maybe the QC-Y that I have checked out before, that's a hybrid configuration. This is more enthusiast kind of listen for me on the ear. So this is closer for me to an IEM sound over what you're getting with the QC-Ys. But there may be one downside for me in the vocals is, again, this has maybe shoutiness in the vocals. So if you're treble sensitive, fatigue sensitive, you might find this maybe fatiguing to listen to for a long listening session. But yeah, the technicality for me is definitely there. This is an upgrade in terms of the technicalities compared to the X12s and E12 Ultras here. So going to the bass region, so actually surprising bass here because compared to other Sabbats, the bass usually is maybe really prominent in the mix. But here in the E16s, it's more controlled for me in the mix. It definitely has still some boom to the overall sound, but it is not overly boomy for me. Again, the bass is not that prominent in the mix here. So your top end is still front and center in the mix. So this is still not the most technically capable bass. But again, the presentation, the elevation is not that much here. So maybe the bass here reminds me of the usual KZ type of bass hybrid kind of presentation. So also maybe TRN kind of presentation to the ear. So you have still a bit of speed to the overall presentation, but still you're getting that fun musicality in your overall sound. Going to separation, great here for me because the bass is not that elevated for me in the mix. The vocals are clean, the top end is clean, separation is good, better compared to your other Sabbats here, especially those dynamic driver Sabbats. But now let's compare it to the Sabbat G12s. So going for the Sabbat G12s here, which is one of my daily drivers for gaming. So the Sabbat G12s is going to be more relaxed to the ear. It's gonna have more warmth in the bottom. So you're getting more ample bass at the bottom here. Less top end as well, more controlled top end in the G12s. And also maybe a bit more forward vocal as well in the mix. Here in the E16s, you're gonna have more brightness on top, more extension on top, more air frequencies here, better separation as well. More clean, kind of sound to the ear, better micro details. And also you're getting maybe better technicalities overall with what you're getting with the E16s here. So which one do I prefer between both? So actually the G12s, E12 of the world is actually still cool for the price that you're paying for. But here in this case, I actually do like the E16s here. So better technicalities overall, better separation. The overall technicalities, it's a better sound for me here overall with the E16s compared to maybe your usual Sabbats here. Alright, so let's try to close this thing. So for the E16s, of course, big thanks to Prime Goods for sending this over. I'm gonna link them down below if you wanna get one. But for the E16s for me, so it's a different Sabbat here overall. It's a more enthusiast Sabbat to the ear. So maybe compared to my other TWSs here, this might be the closest to maybe a monitor, kind of sound to the ear. So compared to maybe the QC-Ys, compared to maybe even the Moontrops of the world, this is the most monitor, kind of listen to the ear that I have heard with that hybrid in configuration. They kind of nailed the whole maybe enthusiast feeling kind of TWS here, especially with the look of the IEM. So that is my take with the E16s. Of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. So what TWS are you using right now? Are you still using your E12s, X12s of the world? Are you planning to upgrade to the new Sabbats? Of course, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt video. Goodbye.